Located in a sparsely populated area in the southeast of Rome, the fascist regime's Cinema City was the largest film studio complex in Europe, spreading over a surface of 58 hectares. Inaugurated in April 1937, Cinecittà was soon served by a new tram route. The electric tram would bring studio workers and crowds of extras from Rome's central station Termini to Via Tuscolana, today a busy urban artery of Italy's capital city. Referred as the Hollywood on the Tiber in its heyday, Cinecittà's iconic status and legacy continue to this day. The studio complex, designed by architect Gino Peressuti, was organized into 6 main groups of buildings and a large backlot. Let's take a look inside. The first group of buildings, located around the main entrance square, were facilities destined to general administrative and management services and for hospitality purposes. This included producers and direction offices, located opposite each other directly across the main entrance on the Via Tuscolana. If we turn right, we can see a restaurant and a bar located on top of a green terraced area, tucked away from the main action for a cool and pleasantly restful experience, as described by the studio architect Gino Peressuti. This modern restaurant was designed to cater for high-profile personalities, including politicians and diplomats, visiting Rome, and the studio for business or leisure. To the left of the restaurant is a building known as Tecnofonico, a technical workshop which hosted photomechanical operations and also included dedicated storage for photographic and technical equipment. Moving to the left, past the direction and administration building, we can see the Edificio Spettacolo, featuring a large cinema which seated up to 100 visitors. Further out to the left, a large group of buildings called Servizio Edizioni hosted specialized laboratories and services including film cutting, editing, developing and printing, and film storage. The second central group of production facilities was formed by the sound stages. To the left, you can see the stages Teatro 1 to 4. Over the years, the number of stages would grow to expand the studio's capacity, but 9 were originally built and in operation in the early years. 4 small stages, 4 medium-sized stages, and a very large stage known as Teatro 5, designed for the filming of scenes requiring oversized indoor reconstructions, such as the large department store featuring in I Grandi Magazzini, a popular romantic comedy of the late 1930s starring Vittorio De Sica. In later years, Teatro 5 would become legendary through its association with director Federico Fellini, who used this stage extensively to recreate spectacular settings for his films, including, for example, parts of the enormous cruise ship in E la nave va. Moving to the right, past Teatro 5, a third group of buildings were distributed along the studio's central axis in a position to serve the stage area efficiently, providing a variety of auxiliary services to on-set filming. These included the central power station, a large deposit for lighting equipment known as Parco Lampade, and behind these buildings, the costume department, extras makeup rooms, and the main canteen. At the time of the studio's inauguration, Cinecittà's large backlot measured a staggering 460,000 square meters. Over the years, the area has seen significant resizing as a consequence of the fast residential growth experienced by the studio's neighborhood. Rome's warm and dry weather meant filming outdoors was possible for large part of the year. Having a spacious backlot allowed for widely disparate sets to be built and used outdoors. The sets should be weather resistant to be restyled and reused a number of times to recuperate, at least in part, some of the construction costs. Ideally, they would also be designed to be disassembled easily and rapidly to make room for other sets. Cinecittà's backlot served a number of spectacular productions which necessitated historically accurate settings, featured large crowd scenes, and employed the latest technology. Examples in the 1950s include MGM's Sword and Sandal epics Quo Vadis and Ben-Hur. Ben-Hur's iconic chariot arena, modelled on a historical circus in Jerusalem, was allegedly the largest film set ever built at that time. While Rome became known as the Hollywood under Tiber, this runaway production allowed US film companies to reinvest blocked profits in Italy, while saving costs on labour and location shooting. According to the original architectural plans, the fifth group of buildings, located to the right of the central axis, was destined to specialised technical and set design laboratories. If you look to your right, in close reach of the Tecnofonico, there was the Cinefonico, a key facility where sound, music and dialogue recording, post-synchronization and mixing were handled. Similarly to the sound stages, music scoring rooms and sound processing laboratories were soundproofed with anti-vibration, phono-absorbent and fire-retardant materials. To the left, we also find set construction activities, such as falegnameria, the carpentry, but also painting and sculpting workshops and the Magazzino Generale, the property stores. Smaller stages that were designed to host water settings, miniature work and special effect were also part of this group of buildings. Here you can see stages 8 and 9 as they were originally numbered. These small and medium stages were paired to operate alongside one another and shared some facilities, including adjacent storage rooms to facilitate changes of sets, cameras and lights, and principal and supporting actors changing rooms and bathrooms. In this way, a single production could aim for self-sufficiency, having exclusive use of 2 stages and dedicated services, while also avoiding disturbing or being disturbed by other ongoing productions. Let's take a look inside at the filming of Luchino Visconti's Bellissima.